Hello everyone and welcome back to part 5 of the how to draw a rhino in graphite pencils tutorial. I hope you're all doing really well and you're excited to get stuck into this next part, so let's get started. So as always, everything that you need to know about this tutorial is listed in the description, the reference photo, the line drawing, everything that you need, and I'll also link part 1 if you're just joining me now and you want to go back to the beginning. So let's get stuck in to these next two legs here. So as always, I'm going to start out with the HB pencil. First of all, I'm just going to tidy up that little bit there that's smudged. Then I'm going to start to add some guidelines to this bit of the leg here. And then this bit on the outside. Just going to do this one first. Kind of just want to make things a little bit clearer. I'm also going to add where this little shadow is. And then some of these like little wrinkles that come across. Going to be blending it all out, so it doesn't matter if it's a little bit on like the rough side at the minute. And I also need to add these little bits on the feet. Bit coming across there. And then a little bit there. Then I'm just going to start to fill that in. With a nice sort of wash of pencil so that we can create our base. So I'm probably going to lose a little bit of detail, but as long as we can sort of see where everything is, it doesn't matter too much. Can just like add it in a little bit stronger if need be. Got the window open because it's a really hot day today. Finally got a little bit of summer after very, very cold June, so I think there's someone mowing outside. Hopefully it's not too disruptive. Then I'm going to take my cotton bud and just blend all of that in so that it's nice and smooth and blended. I'm trying to film an Instagram reel again at the same time and it's really hard to multitask, like pressing play on both cameras and then stopping the other one so that it doesn't film for too long. Clearly I'm not very good at multitasking. But yeah, I did, as far as my reels go, recently my reels have been getting like next to no reach, but I did not too bad on the last Rhino one, so I was like, maybe I should do another little progress reel on this drawing. It's looking good. Okay, then let's take our HB again, and this time we'll do this leg. This one hasn't got anywhere near as much detail because it's all in the shadow, so it's just a case of mapping in where this shadowy bit is here, and then where like the edge of the foot is. That's really the only two bits of detail you can see on that leg, so yeah, pretty straightforward. So just fill that one in. Then again, I'm going to use my cotton bud, just blend it in. I'm going to try not to ruin the body that we've already done. Just going to be really careful around there. But if you do ruin it, it's easy to fix, so don't worry too much. There we go, righty-ho. Let's now use the 2B, going a little bit darker now, and I'm going to start on this leg again. And I'm going to darken up the shadowy areas. So just filling them in a little bit more. Going like over these little wrinkly bits. Not pressing too hard, we're just sort of letting the pencil do it for us. Really hoping that you can't hear that lawnmower. The way that I edit my videos now, I sort of try and remove background noise, so usually I'm going on about it and you can't even hear it, but yeah, I'm hoping that you can't. Blending it all in here, filling it all in. Bring it up here a little bit. Gonna bring it in down here. Bring it down that little bit there. Darken that bit up. Do these little bits at the bottom. This little bit here. And let's just do a bit of a line along that bottom bit and just define these little toenail bits a little bit more too. Okay, and then just blend in a bit there. Add a little bit more detail into these wrinkles. Just do a few more lines. Just going to blend a bit of shading there, on that little toe. Bring a bit more across here, on the knee, so it like bends up there a little bit. And then just going to add a bit more shading sort of around here. It's a little bit wrinkly, so I'm just going to do it a bit scribbly, so that I can try and get a bit of a wrinkled effect without adding too many lines and stuff. But I'm leaving that bit a little bit lighter there. And I'm going to do that sort of squiggly effect here. So I'm just moving my pencil around in little squiggles. Do a little bit around here. Okie dokie, and then let's use our cotton bud and just blend it all in again. Okie dokie. Then I'm going to use that 2B again on this other leg now, and again we're just starting up that really shadowy area and sort of making a bit more of a contrast between the shadow and the lighter bit. So we've pretty much done enough, I think, on that area for now at least. So yeah, we're just focusing on the shadow. I've been absolutely eaten alive by horseflies. I've got 4 massive, like, swollen bites on my legs. They're itching me so much. I'm trying so hard not to itch them right now. I think I must be allergic to them because they swell up like golf balls. Rock hard, massive, horrible bites. Yeah, horrible creatures. There's not many animals that I'm not a fan of, but horseflies, I don't get on with them. They really do mess my legs up every summer. Every time one lands on me, I'm like, no, get off. Don't come near me. Even with like jungle bug spray, they're just not bothered. So hard to keep them away, especially when you live in the countryside where they're everywhere. So if anyone's got any tips on how to stop them coming near you and also what to do once you've been bitten. I had some good tips on my Instagram yesterday. I asked on my stories. A lot of people said use aloe vera, so I need to go to the shops today, I think, and get some stuff for it. But yeah, if anyone's got any other tips, do let me know. There we go. And then, of course, I'm going to blend it in with the cotton bud. Just so it's nice and smooth. I mean, this bit's going to be really dark anyway, so Probably doesn't matter as much if it's perfectly smooth, but I just like to do it anyway. Maybe we'll blend that bit out a bit more. And we can always tidy up the edges once we've done all of the pencil work. There we go, that'll do for now. Then I'm going to use the 4B. As always, we're just skipping one out and just going straight to the next darkest one. And I'm going to just do the same process all over again, just with that slightly darker pencil. I think we need a bit more definition underneath that line. Make it super dark, but again, we're not pressing hard, we're just using the pencil without too much pressure, letting the pencil do it for us. It is very tempting to go in and just really hard, like press it all in, but we don't want to do that and make it look really shiny. So just bringing it all down here. Darken up this little bit. Bringing it down there. Just adding a few little wrinkles. Darken up that little line. Definitely need a bit more shading in this little bit here. Bit more around there. Oh, voice went then. Maybe a little bit more in this leg bit here. I think I might actually just do this leg here while I'm at it with the 4B. Just darken it up. And then we'll blend them both together. Again, I kind of want like a bit more definition under that body, under the tummy. So just darkening that up. Then fill the rest of it in. I also had a recommendation to put hand sanitizer on horsefly bites, which I thought was interesting, but I sort of understand like why that might work. So I've done that. I've just been and had an antihistamine and put some hand sanitizer on because they've really started itching me now. Would drive me insane. So yeah, hopefully that'll just calm down soon. I need to have antihistamines more often anyway, I think. Add a little bit more there. Right, let's use a cotton bud now and start blending it all in. Let's do this leg. Okay, let's do a tiny bit more on this one. Okay. Now we'll skip the pencils again, we'll do the 6B and we'll start to darken everything up. So it is just really repetitive when you're doing graphite or any kind of drawing. You're just building up layers, so you've got to be patient. Try not to get bored of doing the same thing over and over again. So worth it in the end. A tiny little bit more around there. Squiggles, little squiggles. Doing some more wrinkles. And then let's darken up. Just add a bit more here. And then let's darken up this bit, this leg. I think we probably do just need a really dark pencil for this bit at this point, but we'll do it. We'll build the layers up because it does help to give it a bit more depth instead of going straight in with the darkest pencil. Okay, and then once again we'll just blend with our cotton bud. Okay, okay. So now, moving on to the 8B, just going to do the same thing all over again. Darken it up. It's really going to start to darken up now. I think we need a little bit more definition a bit further up there. Then just bring it over these wrinkles. There we go, and then again darken up this left side, well, left leg. There we go. And then blend it in with the cotton bud, of course. I just blend a bit more under that tummy. Okay, we're getting there now. So let's now go to the darkest pencil and use the 9B. And no surprise here, we're just going to do the same thing all over again, but this time I'm just going to really like perfect it. Make sure everything's nice and crisp where it needs to be crisp. Like here. Just want to make sure that's nice and tidy. I'm just going to like really push it in now, not too hard, but I want to make sure I've filled in all of the little white gaps or flecks in the grooves of the paper. anywhere that it needs darkening up a little bit. Then I'll do this leg. Just going to bring that line up there. Add a little bit more there too. We'll do this bit first. Darken up this leg. And I'm also going to add a little bit up here. Just to darken that up a little bit more. Sometimes you lose a bit of the depth. There we go. Then I'm going to take my cotton bud and just blend it in a bit more. Make sure it's nice and evenly covered. Then do this leg. Comparing it to the reference and just seeing where I need to blend it in a bit more. Let's add a bit more to that right hand side. Just using what's on the cotton bud to darken it up slightly. And let's add a little bit more there as well. Anywhere that looks like it could use a bit more. Then I'm just going to tidy it up with the eraser. A little bit there. And I might just go back to the HB and just ever so slightly, oops, add a little bit more definition along that right hand edge and just blend in a little bit. Same on this leg. Just so it doesn't look too fuzzy. And then just see if you need any more lines anywhere. These are going to be really subtle with the HB, so it just adds a little bit more definition. And then I might just be tempted to add a bit more 9B again and just darken up that leg a little bit more, just so that it's darker than the rest of it, because that is like the darkest bit of the whole thing really. So I'm just applying a little bit more pressure. Don't want it to go too shiny, but I just want a little bit more depth to it. Just spend a bit of time again just filling in those little gaps. If you've got any little white bits showing through. Oh, hello. Oh. Charlie's come to say hello. Right, I think we're getting there with that. Maybe just a little bit more in that little gap. Okie dokie, I've just zoomed you out a little bit because we're going to work on the shadow and the ground and stuff now. So, how to tackle this? Let's go back to the HB again now. And we're going to start just picking out the little darker areas of shadow to begin with. Sort of like next to the feet, where you can see these little tiny bits of the shadow. It's easier to start with the darker bits and then like work your way over to the lighter the lighter areas. What do you want? I think you must want something. I don't want to add too much into the floor, like the ground, but I don't know, we need to take it slowly and sort of just see how much to add, I suppose. So So here, just going to start to shade that in. It's really hard to get my hand at the right angle. I don't know whether to just do the shadow and not do any sort of the ground texture, if that makes sense. Any of the dirt, I don't know. It might look a bit more effective if I do just do the shadow. Okay, I'm hoping you can see most of that. Then, using the cotton bud again, we're just going to blend it all in. Well, mostly just this big area. Just going to add a little bit in there. Right. Blend a little bit around here, under the feet and stuff. Kind of think it needs a little bit of context just under there. Even though the really dark bit of the shadow is kind of what I want to focus on, I do actually think we just need a little bit of it blended out. Let's blend out the bottom of this. Okie doke. And then let's use the 2B and we'll darken up the darkest bit of the shadow. I'm going to be extra careful now because I'm mostly just focusing it on these really dark bits. Right, just add a bit more under there. Let's add a bit more under the foot. Darken up these bits. They're very crisp and clear, these shadows, so I kind of want to keep it that way. Obviously, apart from the bit we've blended out. So we'll do this bit. Kind of want to keep it like crisp on the top but a bit faded on the bottom, so I'm going to be really crisp and clear that top bit. Might need to tidy it up with the eraser afterwards. And then just fill that in. Let's do that bit there. Fill it in. Just wanted to move you across a little bit because I realised you couldn't see the very end of the shadow, so what shape I was doing it, so yeah, apologies for that, at least you can see it now. Just carrying on to build up this shadow. So I just brought it to a point because you couldn't really see the end on the reference. So hopefully that looks alright once it's done. Just finishing off. Blending it all. There we go, that'll do for now. Then I'm going to use the cotton bud and just once again blend it in. And like I said, I want to keep the blurred out area sort of to the bottom rather than the top, so I might just blend a bit more out at the bottom. Do a bit more around here, I think it needs just balancing out a little bit more. Or does that look weird? I don't know. Try rubbing it out a bit. Yeah, I think it needs to actually just stay from here onwards. Maybe even use your finger a little bit just to blend it out a tiny bit more, but you'll just have to clean your finger on your eraser, you know, so it doesn't smudge the artwork when we go back to drawing. Or even use the clean side of your cotton bud. And if you go too far, you can just easily erase it. Sort of up to you how far you want to take it. I don't want to add too much. I like to sort of keep the background quite subtle when I'm doing things like this. There we go. Right, let's go straight to the 6B. I feel like we just need to darken it up. It doesn't need all that much extra detail. I mean, we might add a little bit underneath the feet and stuff towards the end, but for the really dark bits, I feel like let's just get it done. Just darken it up. So start doing these bits. So hard for me to draw at this angle. I want to be able to just go like this, but you won't be able to see what I'm doing. I feel like it looks lighter than it actually is on that left side because of the light reflecting off it, but it is really dark. Do you see what I mean? It is dark. It's just the way that the light reflects off it. Don't really know how I would avoid that without making it really dark by turning the lights off. Okay, and then using the cotton bud, we're just going to blend that in again. And let's add a little bit more sort of depth with the excess just under like the feet and stuff. It's a great thing with the cotton bud, you can sort of just use whatever's left and blend it wherever you want. So you can blend it as much or as little as you like. I do quite like a very well blended look. I don't like to leave it too sort of unblended. It's the only word that I can think of. Oh, my battery's gonna die. Right, 1 second. Okay, a new battery. Let's use the 8B and start to darken up some of the shadows even more. Might need to do some of the feet again just in case you've lost any definition. You just have to be quite careful because we don't want to ruin it at this late point in the game. We've worked really hard on all of these little details, so just really taking our time to add these finishing touches. Let's darken up this bit. It's just starting to get that nice, like, defined look to it now. Might just add a little bit more of that there. Then just taking my time to build up the rest of it. Fill in any gaps. I might be tempted not to blend this shadow too much now because I don't want to lose that crispness. That really high contrast sort of look. But I do need to blend a bit more around the feet, I think. So yeah, it is very dark over this side, you just can't really tell on the video. Maybe I will blend it a bit, we'll see. Maybe I just do it, try and be careful not to blend the edges too much. Yeah, let's give it a go with the cotton bud. Just through the middle. And then we'll get some that we can use as the excess. Bring it down here a bit more. Sort of right close to the feet. A little bit around the bottom, this bit. And then let's use the 9B and we'll just finally darken the rest of it up. So, again, I'm being super careful. Don't want to ruin anything. Add a little bit under there. I think we might need a little bit of detail in like the faded out areas too at the end, but we'll tackle that when we've done this bit. Don't want to overcomplicate it, but I don't want it to look a bit weird. Do this bit. This is kind of like a last chance to darken it up, so just really make sure it's nice and filled. Just gonna tidy that bit at the top a little bit. There we go. Creating lots of contrast. Oh, many. Now I've got another pussycat wanting something from me. Probably food. Yep, that is exactly what she wanted. Really doesn't look dark on the camera, but it is. It's all the same colour. Well, depth. So I'm just going over and over and over it. You can see it's dark when I put my hand in front of it there. There's no way for me to like avoid that. Okay, it's starting to look good now. I think we're not far off done with this bit. Just take as much time as you need to do that. I'm just going to tidy up some of my pencil marks. I'm going to take the 2B and I'm just going to start to add a little bit of subtle detail sort of in this blended area. So, you know, just some like little bits of texture and bumps and stuff to make it look more like the ground. I don't want to add this pile of poo, if you can see that. More just like little bits of texture. Sort of just doing it a bit random, to be honest. We'll add a bit more under the feet though. Maybe some little bits around here. And then we'll just blend those out a little bit with the cotton bud, just so that they're not like too perfect. Use the clean one if you want to. Just want them to sort of fade in a little bit more. So then we've got a little bit of detail, but nothing too crazy. And I think I'm pretty pleased with that, to be honest. That is how it looks. Hold on, let's turn the light off. Is that better? That's how it looks as a finished piece. What I'll do is I'll add a picture of the finished drawing at the end so that you can sort of compare yours to mine and see if there's anything that you want to add. Feel free to go crazy and do more of the background if you want to, you know. Feel free to blend a bit more out. It's totally up to you. You make it your own and do as you please with it. So yeah, I really hope you have enjoyed drawing this one with me. It's been really fun. I've enjoyed going back to graphite and just doing something a little bit simpler in a way that doesn't require too much thought about the colour and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this series, please do make sure to give it a like because it helps my channel out immensely. Subscribe to see more like this and comment down below what you'd like to see next. Have a lovely rest of your day and I'll see you in the next one. So bye for now.